Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to make simple animated blinking eyes. You're gonna want to make 3 sets of eyes, one that's actually open, one that's half closed and one that's actually closed. Then you're gonna just repeat those 3 frames over and over and it will look like it's blinking. You don't need any more frames than that. It doesn't look better if you have more frames or anything. Now let's talk a little bit about the position of the eyes. Of course you have the open eyes that are placed in the same spot as usual, and then you have the half-closed eyes. And the thing is, you should try and not make the bottom move so much, like the bottom of the eyes, because when we blink, us real humans, the eyelid on top of the eyes is the one that usually moves. So that's the one that you should make blink downwards, pretty much. So don't make the underside of the eyes move too much, because it doesn't in real life either. That will just look strange. I have it a little bit here, a little bit moving here, but that's because these eyes are so huge, mostly. So just make sure that the top of the eyes is the part that moves downwards the most. Also, when you make the half-closed eyes, you want to make sure that the open eyes and the half-closed eyes are pretty much identical, at least on the bottom part. So what I usually do is that I draw the open eyes and then I copy it. I copy the line art and paste it, and then I just erase half of the eye, the top half, and draw a new top line on the eyes. That way the iris becomes entirely identical to the open eyes and the size will be the same and so on. Now for the completely shut eyes, you should place them in the middle of where the open eyes are, but a little bit to the bottom. So it's not completely in the middle, it's just a little bit lower than that. That's because of how we blink, and yet again because of the eyelid and everything. I really love to make a lot of layers, so I usually have one folder for the color and one for the lines. And then when I make eyes, I have one folder for open eyes, one folder for the half closed and one for the actual closed ones. So these folders are put on top of the colors and the lines, just to keep track of them and so that it's easier to switch between them and make sure they look okay. Okay, so now that you have the line art of your 3 different frames, you're gonna start with the coloring probably. And when you color, you have to make sure that the background behind the eyes, pretty much, like the skin and so on, is solid and that it doesn't cater to only one set of eyes. For example, if you make shadows around the eyes when they're open, that's not gonna look good on the half-closed eyes or the closed eyes. So make sure you don't make any actual shadows that are specific for one set of eyes only. If you really must make shadows that are for one set of eyes, then you're gonna have to make more layers and make sure that the layers are specific for each set of eyes. I usually try to avoid that because it's more difficult. Also, something you have to be careful about is that you have to make sure that the hair and the bangs are entirely visible behind the eyes. So if you usually draw open eyes that have bangs going into the eyes and they like disappear into the eyes, you can't do that now because the bangs have to be visible when you have closed eyes too. So you need to show all of the hair and it can't like fade into the eyes at all. So make sure you do that when you do the sketch and the line art. This is also why I put the eyes in separate folders on top of everything else, so the bangs stay behind the eyes when they're open, but are shown properly when the eyes are closed. Now, when you color the eyes, you want to make sure that the open eyes and the half-closed eyes are identical, except for that the half-closed eyes are, of course, half-closed. To make sure that the iris is identical in both sets of eyes, and so you don't have to redraw them entirely 2 times, just paint the open eyes first, and then you flatten it. You flatten all of the iris into one layer, then you copy it, and then you can go back until you have all your layers back. But you still have your flat layer copied. So just paste that again, and then move that so you have it in the correct folder for the half-closed eyes. If your iris is sticking out outside of the half-closed eyes, just use the eraser and remove what you don't need. Now you should have 2 exactly identical irises, just that one is for the half-closed eyes and one is for the open eyes. Now that you finally have your 3 frames, it's time to animate it in Photoshop. You can probably use any other program for this, but I use Photoshop. Merge all your layers when the eyes are open and then copy that merged layer to a new file. Then go back, select the half open eyes, merge all the layers into one layer, copy that into the other file, then go back again, merge all the layers when the closed eyes are visible, and copy that merged layer into the new file again. Then you will have a file where you have merged layers with the eyes open, half closed and closed. Now it's time to animate. Go to Window and select Timeline. In the timeline, make a new frame for each of your merged layers. Start with the open eyes, then go to the half eyes, closed eyes and half eyes again, and then the open eyes. Then you can also adjust the length of the time that you want them to be shown. I usually go with 1 second first in the beginning, and then I usually make each frame in between, like the blinking frames, 0.1 seconds or so. So usually I do 1 blink first, and then I let it have open eyes for a little bit, and then I do a double blink or something like that. As you can see, I put the first frame where the eyes are open to 1 second, then I have 3 different frames where they're half closed, closed, then half closed, and then open again. And then I have it open 2 seconds, and then I have half, closed, half, open, half, closed, half, open. And it will then first blink, wait 2 seconds, then blink twice, and then wait another 2 seconds. You can do your own variations of this as much as you want. If you draw in a bigger size, make sure you resize your project before you do the next step. Make sure you select Save for Web and GIF, of course, and the maximum colors. Also, make sure that the animation is looping. And now your animation should be done. Good job and good luck. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and comment, subscribe and like if you want more. Is there any other tutorial you would like to see? Do you think I can make it? Leave a comment and I might just do it. Thank you so much for watching.